Okay, so you're approaching up on Okinawa. Can you walk us through the
Uh,
invasion and your?
we were ready to go ashore on the one side of the ship on the cargo nets, and we had a kamikaze plane hit the other side of the ship, and it wiped out our headquarters company. Another happened to be in the foxhole with a buddy of mine that was the company cook, and so our foxhole was right at the top of the hill, and there was a path leading up to the top, and the one flare went off light, and here, standing right over our foxhole, was a Japanese soldier, and of course it was as much of a shock to him as it was to us, and he wheeled around and took off immediately. But it's things you remember.
Yeah. How, and can you talk a little bit about the battle conditions? I mean, for somebody like myself that has no concept of what it's like to be in battle, how did you deal with the stress of it? How did you keep going? Well, I mean, with a lot of things going against you, such as the stress and the conditions and weather and such, what kept you going?
I don't know. It's just adrenaline, I guess. I know we got in one position where the 6th Marines on our right were so anxious to take this one hill that they left a pocket of Japanese in one of the burial caves behind us. And we made the top of the hill next to them, and the Japanese came out behind us and proceeded to pick us off one at a time with their knee mortars, which they were very good at. And a company of infantry is about 160 men, and I was one of 16 that were able to walk. They were all not casualties as far as being killed, but I was one of 16 that could walk off that mountain.
Wow.
So I'm very blessed. There were a couple times when we were forced to go across a large expanse of open area, and they decided to do that after dark. Of course, everybody had the password was "wonderful pickle," and the Japanese could not pronounce that, so you knew, even though they might know "wonderful pickle," they couldn't say it right.
Yeah, right. The
And but we were going across this expanse that was pretty well exposed, you know, where they could see us if it had been daylight. And I know there was a fellow that dodged in front of me to miss a shell hole, and he got right in front of me and got hit, so that that bullet had my name on it, but he took it for me.
Wow. What was it like then? Once you got off the line or went back for an R&R, did that all, the adrenaline and everything, catch up to you? What was it like to decompress from something like that?
We were pulled back for one period of time, and I think what we were more impressed by was the fact that, of course, we had had sea rations all the time up there and everything, and they might make it up there with what they called a Marmite can. It was a big insulated can, like a thermos can, with coffee at night. And we had, I don't know why we ever called it this, but a washing machine Charlie, just about dusk. They would have mortar shells, and they'd fire 5 of them. One always seemed to be a little too far. One was a little short. One was a little to the right. One was a little to the left. Watch out for the 5th one. And they had just brought up we had gotten our 5, and they just brought up the Marmite can with coffee and put it in a shell hole. And for some reason they changed their procedure and they sent a 6th one. And so I was over there with the lid off the coffee just in time to have one hit and get mud. And I was not the favorite person at that time. So, but those are the things that you remember, and some of them you remember with a laugh, and some of them you remember with tears in your eyes.
Yeah, particularly the ones with the tears in your eyes. How was it dealing with watching your fellow soldiers? You said you were one of 16 out of 160 that didn't get killed or injured.
Yeah.
It must have been tough to see your friends getting killed and injured. And
I don't know. As a bazooka man, I was in different foxholes, so I might not have been with my real close buddies. But I got pinned down one time with 3 others, and I was the only one of the 4 that made it out.
wow.